say to him. Would you guys do that for Chris Paul though? The other offer for Chris Paul. Would you guys be interested in that? Would you give up Horford and some assets, maybe like a Mike Scott, Zaire Smith, draft pick or two, hypothetically?
Was it this? The one that Lord has?
Where's Lord? Sixers get Chris Paul. Okay, hold on. Sixers get Chris Paul. Thunder get Buddy Hield, Zaire Smith, Mike Scott. Kings get Al Horford. Via Sixers is the best deal. You guys agree? So the Kings get Al Horford 2020 OKC first rounder via Sixers. And the Sixers get Chris Paul. Thunder get Buddy Hield, Zaire Smith, Mike Scott.
So we're basically trading Horford, this year's first round pick, Zaire, and Mike Scott for Chris Paul.
I mean, I wish I could get Buddy Hield instead of Chris Paul, but
that's where I would I would take Chris Paul if that's the scenario, but I'd love to figure out a way to get Chris and Buddy, or just Buddy.
I just think the trade package for Chris Paul is not going to be that rich as a James Harden package would be. So,
well, I think Chris Paul and Buddy Hield are two more realistic options that are easier deals to get done, in my opinion.
I just think for the Sixers, what they need to do this offseason is just surround Ben with just straight shooters, man. Just straight shooters. Just straight guys that just shoot the three very, very well.
Like, the only reason I'm taking Chris Paul is to get out of Horford's deal. You know what I mean? That's the only reason.
And I like Chris Paul as a leader. You know what I mean? Like, as a pure leader. And that's, again, a knock to me on James Harden is he's not really that alpha leader.
No, that's true.
You know what I mean? So, whereas Chris Paul, the contract is just as egregious. The age is just as old, if not older. But Chris Paul has proven to be that leader that this team lacks, especially late in game.
No, he's a leader, but Joel's a leader too. And Harden gets buckets late in games, but so does. But listen, I'm just saying, Chris Paul I would take. You know what I mean? Would you guys take Chris Paul? And then who would you take? Who would you rather have, Buddy Hield or Chris Paul? That's the next question. I think
Buddy Hield.
If I'm the Sixers, I go Buddy Hield, and it's the reason because the things I've been saying with you got to get shooters around Ben. You have to.
Yeah, I agree, Ralphie. I'm just going Buddy Hield because of the age, right?
Yeah, I'm going Buddy Hield just based off of the age, the fit, and I believe Chris Paul, we might run into the same problems that we had with Jimmy Butler. It was a good problem at times because Jimmy Butler was great for us, but to where having Chris Paul on the court may cancel out a guy like Ben Simmons, Buddy Hield's not canceling out Ben Simmons. He can work with Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? To where when we talk about fit, there's no questions of fit with Buddy Hield, Ben Simmons, and Embiid. There might be some levels of kind of discomfort and maybe lack of comfortability in the offense. Even though I do believe Doc can make it work, I think the fit and the easier option, I think the cheaper option is Buddy Hield.
I think you can get both of them too. Like, I think if you really wanted to, you could get both of them. So, I think there's ways you can do it. I mean, with Horford, Richardson, Thibault, picks, right? Zaire, Mike Scott, there's enough things out there that you could put together because they're looking to move, right? They're looking to move. They're in the business of moving. So there's things out there that you could do to get both of them. You know what I mean? With all them players named and picks in some fashion, right? You get
if I'm the Sixers, I'm done with picks. You can have as many picks as you want. I'm done with them. Let's go win a championship. Let's go to the playoffs. Let's get farther than the second round.
I mean, Chris Paul and Buddy Hield make us way deeper than we were. Way deeper than we were. And Chris Paul doesn't even have to play a full 72 either. Like, we're still really good. Like, there's some other things we probably have to do, but we're still a really good basketball team. Now, to be where we want to be, right, as good as we want to be, he has to be healthy during the playoffs, right? And, that's what it comes down to because he's 35. So, I mean, playoff time, he's got to be healthy. But I like that deal. I mean, overall, though, I think overall, out of all the names we mentioned, though, and what I'm going to say is, I think if I had to pick one way or the other, instead of getting Paul and Buddy, what's Buddy? How old's Buddy, guys?
24.
No, he's older than that. He's older than that.
He came out in the same year.
He came in the league when he was like 23, 24.
Oh, he was an older guy. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's one of those 4-year guys at Oklahoma.
Because he came out the same year as Ben's draft.
Correct.
The same draft class. Maybe
27.
27. Ooh. I mean, it's still, I say, ooh, like it's freaking old. It's not.
No, I would, I was going to say, do I take Harden? Would I rather have Harden or have them two? right? And I keep thinking in my head, which ones would I rather have? And I think the more I think about it, I'd rather have them two because Hield's 27, Tobias is 28, and that means I'll always have two shooters around them guys. You know what I mean? Like we can say whatever we want, but I have two younger shooters that are going to be around them for a minute. You know what I mean? So I've got that can shoot, and then I got Chris Paul for maybe 2 years. So I'd be like a 2-year window with Chris Paul, right, where I can win with him. So I like it.
And you also got to think. You also got to think if you're the Sixers, right? Your window's still open, just a tad with how the East is. But you got to look at Milwaukee, right? They might lose Giannis, so they might be saying, you know what? If we lose Giannis this year, let's just see what we can get in the trade market and free agency this year. Let's go all in. And then you have Brooklyn coming back with Kyrie and KD. Then you have the Raptors doing their thing as always. And then you have obviously Miami who just made the finals this year, and you also have Boston that's still there. So you also got to look at different teams in your conference, and that obviously the Eastern Conference has always been a every conference. So you got to look at those teams and think, man, if Milwaukee's really going to lose Giannis after this year, they might just be all in and just say, you know what, whatever you want for Chris Paul, or how can we get James Harden with Giannis? You know what I mean? Go for a superstar and make a run for the title.
I'm going to give you guys a couple options because
real quick. I almost might take Harden over them too.
Hield and Chris Paul?
Yeah, because I think I got a 4-year window to win with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a 4-year window in playing him being able to score 30 a game. Yeah, I mean,
he's always healthy too. Always healthy.
Always playing. So I mean, I think I'd rather go Harden. So I'm flipping over there. That's if I can keep the bias too, because then I feel really good for the next 4 years, like about what I have surrounding my guys. So go ahead, Rye. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think. Well, first off, and this name was mentioned, earlier, but if there's a way, fit-wise, it's not the flashiest move, it's not a big name, but fit-wise, if there's a way to pull off a trade to get, and it's a 2 players from the same team, a Buddy Hield and Nemanja Bjelica here, and I know everyone's gonna say, oh well, Bjelica was here, he was like the Frank Gore. We got him for 5 seconds, then he went away. Well, if you trade for him, he's here. I think fit-wise, if you can get those 2 here, and maybe you send like a Jay Rich or Horford, because I know the money's kind of interesting, so you're going to add some more players. But even if you're trading Horford, Jay Rich, Scott and Zaire, that is a really sneaky move to where you're not giving up a ton of assets. And I think both teams will kind of do it because you're giving Sacramento a bunch of volume, a bunch of picks, or a bunch of different players. And then here you're getting 2 guys back to where they're not the flashiest players, but they fit exactly what you're trying to do.
And the thing with Sacramento, too, in this offseason, is they have a new front office. So we all know how it works in sports. When the new front office comes and it's not their guys, most of the time, those guys that are originally there that aren't their guys, they're moving. And
the coach, because somebody was saying Buddy Hield, I think Marquis said, oh, well, Buddy Hield was benched for Bjelica. It's because the coach and him can't stand each other. The former Lakers coach. You should know that, Ralphie. You know what I'm saying? There's something there to where they just don't get along at all. I think I remember I was reading, during the season that the coach wanted Buddy Hield to play a certain style that
Luke Walton.
Yeah, Luke Walton. He was trying to make Buddy Hield play a style that like Buddy Hield doesn't play, and it was hurting Buddy Hield's game to where it was a mess over there. To where I don't really put that much value into that. I just look at that to where okay, it's a bad relationship between a player and a coach.
Yeah, but Buddy's gotten better every year. This year he had a down year. He didn't shoot the basketball as well. But, I mean, in 2018, he shot 45%, and shot 42% from 3. And he's always shot over 40% from 3 besides his rookie year. His was the first year he didn't shoot over it. So, a little bit of a down year for him, but still averaged almost 20 a game. So, I mean, right there, you're adding a lot of production to your basketball team. You know what I mean? With them 2 guys, you're adding shooters. You add them guys who can stretch the floor, and you're surrounding them with shooters. And Ben and Joe, our best runs were when they were surrounded with shooters. And now you have young shooters around them, even if it's just Buddy Hield. Chris Paul doesn't need to be an elite shooter. You know what I mean? But I'd rather just have Buddy Hield and, like Rye said, whatever that fucking name is. But I'd rather have I'd rather have them 2. I just know he can shoot. But I'd rather have them 2 than Chris Paul because I have less issues. I know M Heavies like Harden and Ben can't play together. Yeah, they can. That's easy because Ben wants to get rid of the basketball, and Harden wants the basketball. So to me, that's easier. Paul and Simmons is harder because Paul's, you know what I mean? That's a harder match because Paul can't run off the ball, so that's harder.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Marquise. That's a great point.
We're going to the line all the way to the finals, baby, like LeBron and AD did. We're going to the line all the way to the finals.